have you ever, or are you currently feeling like you're living month to month in your business and you basically have no idea what's coming in? Unfortunately, like so many businesses out there, we are solely dependent on clients purchasing their next package, their next 10 class pass. We don't have any recurring revenue built into our businesses. And what this does is creates recurring stress. We don't know how much we will bring in next week or next month. And, whether we can actually cover our costs or actually pay ourselves. We as business owners are always the last to be paid after everything else and everyone else. We also justify this saying that it's just the way it's meant to be, or that we're paying ourselves for classes we take, so that's okay. But that shouldn't be the case. The amount of work that a business owner does to continue to run their business is huge, and we really should be paid as such, and you know it as well. But in order to do so, we need to know that we've actually got money coming in, and that's coming in consistently as well. So here's the importance of recurring revenue. Now, firstly though, if you're not sure what this is, it's revenue or money that you know you're going to be getting in each week or each month. It recurs more than once. What does this do for your business? Well, it lets you budget. It lets you know what to expect to bring in each week or, each month. And so you know what you can actually spend, and you can always basically have a base to grow from. Now, without recurring revenue, you're basically shooting into the dark. You don't know what you're going to actually bring in next week or next month, or whether you can actually cover your costs and whether you can pay yourself. I kind of like to think of it this way. Say you wanted to sell your business and you didn't have any recurring revenue. Now, a buyer will look at the business and they'll go, there's actually no guarantee that I'll make any money from this business, as no one is on longer term contracts. They could basically all just quit on me. Now, if you compare this to a recurring revenue stream, a buyer of a business where the clients are on a contract and memberships can actually see that there's an expected, for example, 100,000 coming into the business in the next 12 months. So you've automatically increased basically the value of your business by a minimum $100,000. Now, back when I started out, I commenced with the standard 10 class pack, which pretty much everyone else in the industry seemed to be doing and still does. I also had a couple of membership options though. Now, as you can probably guess, most people went for the 10 class pack, as it was less commitment. So what I saw was this. One, I couldn't count on the revenue coming in. I couldn't budget. And I had no idea whether people were actually going to purchase and when they were going to. Secondly, there was no consistency for clients either. 10 plus packs allowed them to be so inconsistent with their training that they either didn't use up the 10 pack or they did it so sporadically that they actually never saw results. And when people don't see or they don't feel results, they don't continue on. And three, people also found it hard to fork out the 160 in one go. They'd wait for payday. They'd push purchasing out by a week or 2 weeks, or sometimes even up to a month. So what I did was remove the class pack option, which was scary as hell, as people seem to be really attached to it. But I managed to do it. I managed to transition really, really well and really smoothly. And in the end, I actually significantly increased my overall revenue, bringing everyone onto recurring revenue. Now, this not only let me budget and, to know what I was expecting to come in, but it helped clients with consistency and therefore their results. And it also reduced the big outlay for them as well. So it's really important to have a look at the revenue model that you've actually got in your business currently and see where this isn't actually serving you or your clients.